This is going to be a cushion cover when it's done. But before I start tracing, there's one more thing I want to do to the fabric. I'm going to turn this over to the back, and this makes the tracing easier. So when you're drawing on fabric, the fabric is a little bit stretchy, and it kind of wiggles around. It doesn't stay in place very well. But I am going to put some strips of packing tape onto the back of the fabric so that the fabric can't wiggle around. Okay, so that's got the back covered. So now next thing would be to tape the pattern down so that it can't move around on me. Then we want to get the center of the fabric aligned. The center of the pattern. And then tape the fabric down so that it can't move. Okay, and now I can see the pattern pretty good through the fabric. Would work even better if I had a true light table, but this is good enough. And I am going to trace this with a permanent marker. Thank you. So I want to try to do smooth, swooping lines as long as I can, because every time I stop with the marker, where I start up again is visible. It's not a huge problem. But try to make it as nice as I can. These are going to be my quilting lines. I'll quilt over top of this with black thread as I'm quilting it. And so I'll just carry on like that and trace over all the dark lines from the pattern, and then I'll have the artist take over and color it in with the ink tints. Alright, so I finished tracing. So here it is with the entire pattern drawn in with the Sharpie marker. And in addition to that, I also did a very small sample, part of it, on a scrap piece of fabric to do some experimenting and talking you through the Inktense pencils and how they work a little bit. So these are the Inktense pencils. This set that I have here has 12 colors. They do come in larger sets, but I don't think it matters too much. If you're okay with mixing colors, you can use the 12 to get pretty much whatever color you want. If we open up the tin, they look a lot like pencil crayons, but they're not. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about how the Inktense pencils work and how you can use them. I've seen quite a few YouTube videos where they show drawing on fabric much like using a pencil crayon to start with. So I'm going to color in this small area here with the poppy red. Okay, so the magic comes in when you get it wet. You can use water, but that's not really the best choice. Let me demonstrate here. So I've got just a little bit of water on this paintbrush here. The color is getting more vibrant. But if we were to leave this for 5 minutes, actually you can see it a little bit here. The color is bleeding out beyond the black Sharpie lines. It runs pretty intensely when you use water. So that's not really the best medium. The other thing is, if you want to mix colors together, so if you color with one color and then color with another color over top, it's the color on top that you see the most of. And so with the dry coloring, it's really hard to get a mix. So let's well, let me show you what works better than coloring with water. You can do the same sort of thing. Color in this section here with red. Instead of using water, I'm going to use some aloe vera gel. And I'm just going to use it right as is, straight out of the bottle. And just brush it. Well, here you can see, hopefully you can see it in the video, you can see really nicely how much more vibrant it is when it's been wet. But it's kind of hard to get all of the kind of the little lines that appear when you're coloring with it in like in pencil crayon mode. It's hard to get all of those wetted enough to get them to disappear. So what we've found works better in experimenting with this is if you mix it up in advance, kind of like paint. So I'm going to take a dollop of the aloe vera, put it on the plate here, and grab some color direct from the pencil and mix that in with the aloe vera gel. Pick up some more color. And here, if I wanted to blend, let's say I want something darker, grab a little bit of brown as well. Just a titch of water too. Can really pick up that color. Mix this works much, much better for getting a combination color. So if you want to make a purple from blue and red, you could like this. And now we can just brush this on. This brush is actually a little big for the space that I'm working in here. But it's pretty much just going exactly where I put it, and it's not spreading out beyond, which is nice. So let me just check my notes here. Yep, I think that's the gist. Oh, and this stuff all just cleans up with water. Oh, right, let me talk about color fastness. So, the inks like this, or like when you color with them, it's dry. You need a liquid, water, or the aloe vera gel to activate the color. And once the color has been activated and then is allowed to fully dry, and you can speed up the fully drying process using a hot iron if you want, or you can just let this sit out for a couple of days to fully dry. But once the ink has been dampened and then allowed to fully dry, it's color fast. And I mean, I still wash it with a color catcher, but it's pretty much like any piece that hasn't been washed yet. And you know, once with the color catcher, and it's good. You can dip your pencil in water and color a little bit, and that has kind of a nice effect, but the problem is the color has not all been fully activated, and when you go to wash something like that, you'll have quite a bit coming out and getting caught in your color catcher. So I really think it works best to kind of mix this stuff up like a paint and apply it to the fabric. So I am not an artist, so for me, choosing the right colors to put where, and you know, using different colors together in an area to make something truly beautiful, that's something that I struggle a little bit with. So I have asked my daughter Sarah to paint my project for me using the ink tints. So let's see what she does.